There we go.
Look at you. You're so tech savvy.
Oh, it's because of you. Thank you. Oh, I just have a quick question on that. So the little girls are using, one's using all he's and the other's using all she's, right? And it's in place of like the cow and the
Right. And it's changed. They're different female and male characters. We've read the book enough that most of my students, know that the he and the she.
okay.
And I talked to Kimberly. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I emailed her and then I called her and I said, it's really hard because, Ellen's taking a year off this year.
Yeah.
I'm a kindergarten teacher. As far as work samples go, it's hard for us to contribute unless we're getting samples from other people that aren't our students,
right?
Which is hard to, but it's fine. And I said, I'm just feeling a little disheartened because I should be able to discuss the WIDA can-do descriptors according to kindergartners. And I feel like at this point in the year, they're not writing completely, so it's not enough of a sample to really evaluate. And, the little reading habits that they're displaying, it's not a 10-minute long video. It's 3.
Which is okay.
And she said it's okay. And she said, you know what? She said, next time I would do just an oral conversation with them, something more natural, because you may actually find errors within their speech then, right? And it can go on a while. It's like, I think with your specific task, they were so focused on the task of the book, right? And they were limited in that sense, which I get. But at the same time, aren't we supposed to be doing work samples and assignments, and not just having I mean, I don't know.
It's confusing. I'm surprised they don't just give us some samples, but I can see why they would want us to use our own class samples. But if you don't really have any, then I don't know. It's kind of like for our assessments class in the summer, she actually gave us some because we weren't at school.
Right.
So that was nice.
To do that, but then at the same time, I think I would have understood or gotten more out of the class if I was doing it for my class.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. Even the one sample that I got from the little Chinese girl in 4th grade, I don't know her well enough to really say a lot about her either.
Right. But I think with the framework of our PLC, I don't think it'll be a 40-minute conversation by any means. But I think there's still plenty to discuss. Katrina's going to be the grammarian. She's going to go over all the parts of nouns and pronouns and then the common errors that they make, right? And I can give you the background on either Sophie or Jessica, or we can choose to do both. It doesn't matter to me, from our conversation. And then we discuss the samples and then we problem solve. What are some things we can do to help them?
Okay.
Go ahead. Enough?
On the kindergarten WIDA, would we use speaking or reading?
Good question. I mean, it's under the category of recount. So I don't know. I think it's either one we want to. I think it probably is more applicable to the speaking one than reading, but either way.
Okay.
We can also discuss this tomorrow to take up some time.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I just didn't want to go into it thinking, just say, so.
No, I know. I mean, this is our first one and it's a short sample and I think it's okay. I was looking at one of the other groups and they were pulling up WIDA as they were talking. So I'm like, okay, that can be part of the conversation, right? If we were at a group, in class, that's what we'd be doing. We'd be pulling up the standards and discussing these things. So I think it's okay to not be fully prepared because then it might be over in a jiffy.
Right, you're right. You're exactly right. And it doesn't have to be as long. I mean, I think different people probably have shorter and some have longer. It just depends on what we come up with. So.
Right. I think it'll be fine. And at least, I've already talked to Kimberly about it. She's well aware. And she says, no, I think it's good. This is pertinent for you since you do teach kindergarten. So go with it this time. Go with it. And I said, okay.
Did you ever get an answer back on that sleep thing? on that test?
No one has. And I hate Ellen. I hate that I read her post. I shouldn't have read it, because if I had taken the quiz, I would have gotten them all right. I would have said, have a good sleep. And instead I was like, no, there has to be something more to this. Is it, or have sleep before, I can't remember what the phrasing was, have sleep before whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this a non-count noun? Is that why? So if I said have food before, would that make sense? Or, I was like inserting other non-count nouns, and I shouldn't have. I was just overthinking it and looking in the book. It was common sense. I mean, not to, but I speak the English language, and for the most part, it aligned with what I thought sounded right. And I didn't have to look in the book too much. When I did, I think I got it wrong.
Right. And the scary thing is, I was so scared of that, I had to just pray, because I started getting really nervous, because I hate tests. I'd rather write.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And to me, there were some things where I did those quizzes in the book and I didn't get them right. And I got all the ones that were correct wrong, because I'm overthinking.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't know everything anyway, but then there are some weird rules. So I could see that.
But I think when it comes to the quizzes, we just can't overthink it. I think we just go with it.
Well, thank you, Stephanie.
No problem. Go ahead and stop the recording. I don't know if that will hang us up, but then if you go to YouTube, it should be